We all know by now that Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. His length gives him an enormous advantage, while his skills make it patently unfair to the other team. But there is one hole in his game: shooting three-pointers. But what if I were to tell you that it should not have been that way? What if I were to show you evidence that he was on his way to becoming a solid shooter at worst, with potential to be lethal? Well, make sure you're sitting down, folks, because what you are about to see might make you cry. With the bubble being formed in Orlando, we've been treated to some cool behind-the-scenes video footage by various players and media members. I'm going to go into detail about Giannis' jump shot mechanics, but before I do that, I want you to absorb what's happening here. It seems pretty clear that there are mechanical issues, right? Looking at his three-point percentage during his career, you'd say, oh, with that form, it makes sense. But wait a minute, look at his rookie year percentage. Why is he 4 points higher than his next high water mark? He only took 1.5 a game, but that still seems weird, doesn't it? Well, get a load of this form when he first entered the league. There's a reason he shot well in his rookie year. And by the way, over the last 16 games of that season, he shot 50% from back there. While most were catch and shoot, and he shoots way more off the dribble now, it doesn't explain why that percentage took such a dramatic turn. First off, just look at the smoother rhythm. He's pretty close to properly timing the bottom of the dip to the right foot plant as he goes up into a 1-2 jump shot. There is a two-motion component to this shot, as he simultaneously bends his knees down while moving his arms up into the shot. The set point isn't above his head though, and the energy transfer is fluid. You can see he's utilizing the turn with his feet pointing towards the left corner in order to get the shooting hip and elbow in alignment. Here's an example where he allows his knees to collapse together with severe valgus before getting into the air to release it. But that wasn't consistent, as this jumper shows his knees staying relatively parallel while also exhibiting perfect rhythm. He catches it out away from his body, but then in a very springy motion, dips the ball down. The bottom of the dip is timed with his right foot plant, and he gets the shot off really quick and into the net. While his offensive role has radically shifted since then, and he doesn't get many opportunities to simply spot up like this, imagine if he still had this form and guys like Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe could run pick and rolls and kick out to him. We'd be putting him into discussion for best player of all time in the history of the NBA. All of this analysis takes a lot of time, and it's painstaking to go through hundreds and hundreds of clips. You probably don't have lots of time to develop yourself and learn more by reading non-fiction books from cover to cover. Well, that's where Blinkist comes in. They've got tons of non-fiction books that are condensed into just 15 minutes so you can quickly absorb the information. Plus, they've got a whole library of full-length audiobooks. I've got Lead Like a Coach going right now, and there are so many other great resources for coaches on Blinkist, like the Leadership Challenge and Spark. The first 100 people to go to Blinkist.com/BBALLBREAKDOWN are going to get unlimited access for 1 week to try it out. You'll also get 25% off if you want the full membership. So head over to Blinkist.com/BBALLBREAKDOWN right now so you can then get back to focusing on what has happened to Giannis' shot since his rookie year. If we compare similar angles of his jump shot from his rookie year till now, some of the differences are absolutely striking. The first thing that caught my eye was how both his elbows flare out now. I've already pointed out the knee valgus we sometimes saw his rookie year, but now he does it on every shot, so this position just looks painful to me. His shooting hand is jamming into the side of the ball with his wrist flexed back too early, and the ball is farther out front of his body. In his rookie year footage, he keeps his elbows alongside his body in a much more fluid and rhythmic position. Notice the airspace difference now. In his rookie year, the ball stayed closer to the body on the way up, and then the set point is a lot like Steph Curry's, right over his eye. Now it's much farther out away from his body, severely interrupting the rhythm. Also, Look at the timing on his jump. His rookie year, he's nearing the apex of the jump at the moment of release. But now, he's barely off the ground on the release, and you can see him float to the apex of the jump as the ball is already well on its way to the rim. And all of that extra airspace severely restricts power generation, and it's no surprise to me how often he's woefully short on his misses. It truly boggles my mind that someone could have looked at his rookie year form and said to themselves, oh yeah, we've got to change this big time. His release time during his rookie year was a lot faster than it is now. We've already demonstrated how he had much better natural rhythm, timing the bottom of the dip to the right foot plant. What it looks like is a coach had told him he had to stop dipping the ball altogether. Understand this, dipping the ball down in a springy motion before going up into the shot is the source of power for a jump shot. Not the legs, it's the dip. After all, you don't swing a golf club like this, do you? Wanting to be a coachable player, it appears Giannis has listened to this insanity, and his body needed to find other ways to create power. Remember, you can have a component of a dip off the dribble as well. You might miss it unless you're watching for it, but when you're shooting off the dribble from this deep, it's a very important component to the shot. Watching Giannis shoot this way is what I see after a coach tries to eliminate motion, thinking it's better for the jump shot. But it's the opposite. Everyone is different and has their own unique functional movement and rhythm. To mechanically alter this is to invite all sorts of uncomfortable and inconsistent movement patterns that tend to result in a lot of frustrating misses. European coaches understand this, and they've been able to teach shooting better than most Americans. And where did Giannis come from? That's right, Greece. He was clearly taught good shooting mechanics at an early age, and I firmly believe the solid three-point shooting we saw his rookie year would have only progressed had he been allowed to continue shooting that way. It wasn't overnight, mind you. He did display better rhythm his second year, but you could already see a progression as coaches tried to quote-unquote help him. And by 2015, his shot had become much slower, much less rhythmic, and much more two motion. Look at the stark difference in speed of the dip on his catch and shoots from his rookie year till now. It's startling how much better his quick and springy dip gets great rhythm and power for this shot. Meanwhile, this season, you can see how slow it has become, and all the power dissipates by the time it gets near the set point, where he then has to launch it using his arms to propel it near the rim. Just watch how the ball is caught and he brings it in position in front of him. Instead of that quick down-up spring we saw at the beginning of his career, it pauses there with no discernible downward motion at all before the shoulders do all the work to yank the ball from a stop into its upward direction towards the set point. I've seen this happen to many players when they've been coached to eliminate the dip from their shot, and this teaching always makes a shooter worse. It's coaching criminality. Everybody dips the ball. And in the rare moment when the defense is so close they don't have time to dip, it's probably not a shot you should be shooting. Being a shooting coach is a very delicate thing, and the slightest tweak to an individual's mechanics can have a sweeping effect throughout the whole shot. We've seen it work. Guys like Kawhi Leonard and Jason Kidd improved tremendously over time. But there are many horror stories along the way where coaches focused way too much on fake fundamentals or an ideal shooting form that wasn't suitable for a specific person's movement patterns. And in the case of Giannis, I worry that we missed the window where he could have developed into a 38% three-point shooter, or even higher. And with the top of the NBA pyramid so lofty, whatever happened to his pretty jumper from his rookie year might mean he'll never reach the top. I hope you enjoyed all the information about shooting mechanics in this video. Not many people have dove into the details of the jump shot like I have. And if you want even more, you've got to check out my shooting system video by clicking on the link in the description below. Whether you're a coach who wants more knowledge and methods for teaching the jump shot, or you're a player who wants to see an increase in their percentage, my shooting system is a must. And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to B-Ball Breakdown. With the restart of the season starting tomorrow, I'll have loads of fresh content breaking down the NBA for you. You in?